All right, folks, buckle up. We're about to launch into a Disney adventure that's, well, a little different.
Different good, right?
Oh, absolutely. We're talking Disneyland, but with a baby in tow.
Diaper bags and Mickey ears. The ultimate combo.
You got it. But seriously, how do you even begin to navigate that? Make it fun for everyone, not just a survival mission.
Well, lucky for us, we've got this fantastic first-hand account from a Disney pro who's also a seasoned parent. They've braved the park with a little one and lived to tell the tale.
All right, I'm all ears. Honestly, my first thought is rides with a baby. Good luck.
Haha, I think that's a pretty common first reaction.
Right. But maybe that's the first myth we bust right here, right now.
Oh, bet. Our source actually points out that Disneyland has a whopping 64 attractions that are totally baby-friendly.
64? Are you serious?
Totally. No height restrictions, so even the tiniest mouseketeers can join in the fun.
Okay, color me intrigued. But even with all those options, babies and long lines, those two things don't really mix.
True, true. But that's where a little strategy comes in handy.
Strategy. Spill the beans.
Our source is a huge fan of the Disneyland app, not just for checking wait times, though that's obviously super helpful.
Yeah, gotta minimize the meltdowns.
Exactly. But it's also amazing for mapping out your day. You can plan your route, hit those must-do rides when the lines are shorter, work smarter, not harder.
I like the sound of that. Efficiency is key, especially when you're trying to keep a tiny human happy.
Right. I know our listeners are all about that life hack. So before you even set foot in the park, let's talk packing.
Okay, hit me with the essentials. I'm assuming snacks, extra clothes, all that jazz.
Oh, absolutely. But here's a surprise for you. Disneyland actually allows outside food and drinks.
Wait, seriously? So I don't have to shell out a fortune for theme park prices?
Nope. Just make sure it's non-alcoholic, no glass containers, and you're good to go. Pack a little cooler bag, keep everything fresh.
That's a game changer. I wish I'd known that for my first trip.
Right. Speaking of things you wish you'd known, our source mentioned missing out on the magic of mobile ordering.
Mobile ordering. Okay, I'm listening.
So picture this. You're at Alien Pizza Planet, formerly Red Rockets for all you Disneyland historians out there.
Ah, classic.
But the line, a mile long, with a hungry baby, not ideal.
Yeah, that's a recipe for disaster.
Exactly. So mobile ordering, you can skip the line, pick up your food when it's ready.
Okay, that is going straight to the top of my to-do list. Genius. Now, what about when you need a break from all the excitement? Our source mentioned something called the Baby Care Center.
Oh yeah, the Baby Care Center. It's like a little oasis of calm in the middle of the park, tucked away off Main Street, USA, right near First Aid.
Gotcha. And what's so great about it?
They've thought of everything. Private nursing rooms, high chairs, changing tables, even toddler-sized toilets.
Wow, that's impressive. What if you run out of diapers or something? Or, formula? Nightmare scenario.
Don't worry, they've got you covered. They even have a vending machine stocked with baby essentials.
That's brilliant. Seriously, they've thought of everything.
Pretty much. Our source did mention that the changing tables can get a little crowded, though.
Makes sense. So what are the alternatives?
Most restrooms throughout the park have changing stations, too, so you've always got options. Okay, ready to tackle the big one. Strollers.
Uh-oh. Yeah. I mean, they're a must-have with the baby, but navigating those crowds with a stroller? I'm already stressing out.
Take a deep breath. It's not as bad as you think. Disneyland has designated stroller parking areas near all the rides.
Okay, that makes me feel a little better. Are there any rules about stroller size, though? I wouldn't want to show up with my mega stroller and get turned away.
Good question. There are size limits, yeah. 31 inches wide by 52 inches long.
All right, so basically like your standard jogging stroller. Got it.
You got it. And sadly, wagons are a no-go. But hey, if you're flying in and don't want to haul your own stroller, Disney offers rentals right in the park.
Oh, perfect. So we've covered rides, packing, food, even bathroom breaks. What about another Disneyland must-do? Fireworks. Any tips for making that work with a little one?
Our source had a really great suggestion for this. They recommend watching from the beginning of Main Street, USA.
And why is that?
It's a great spot to see the show, plus it's close to the exit. Easy getaway for when bedtime rolls around.
Ah, strategic. I love it. Speaking of bedtime, I have a feeling that's where the real challenge lies.
You might be right about that. Our source really emphasizes managing expectations. Babies thrive on routine, and Disneyland is, well,
Anything but. Nap schedules, feeding routines, it all goes out the window.
it's true. So embracing the unexpected, going with the flow.
Okay, channeling my inner Zen parent. But how do you actually handle those inevitable meltdowns and still have a good time?
Well, that's a great question and one we should definitely explore further. But first, how about we take a little break and come back to tackle those meltdowns head on?
Okay, we're back, and I'm ready to talk meltdowns.
The elephant in the room, right?
Pretty much. Let's be real, meltdowns are bound to happen no matter how prepared you are. It's Disneyland with a baby, after all.
True that. But our source had some really great advice on handling those moments.
Yeah.
Remember, a meltdown doesn't have to mean the day is ruined.
Oh, that's reassuring, because my initial thought is just panic.
I get it. But think of it as a little bump in the road, not the end of the trip. You just need to adjust the game plan a little.
Okay, so what's the game plan? What do you do when your little one starts to lose it?
Well, first of all, try to let go of those worries about judgmental stares. Most people at Disneyland are parents themselves, or they've been there, done that. They understand.
That's a good point. Okay, so judgment aside, what do you actually do?
Our source talked about finding little pockets of peace amidst the chaos. Quiet spots for nursing, maybe a change of scenery.
I wouldn't have thought of that. Where are some of those hidden havens?
The baby care center, for one. It's not just for emergencies. It's a great place to escape the crowds and give your little one a break.
Makes sense. What about when a meltdown hits mid-ride line? Any tips for that?
Okay, this one is clever.
Mm-hmm.
Our source would pack a special distraction bag filled with new toys, sensory items, things our baby hadn't seen before.
Oh, that's smart. Novelty is key when it comes to babies.
Totally. It's all about having those secret weapons to redirect their attention and hopefully avoid a full-blown meltdown.
I'm taking notes. Okay, so we've got our distraction bag, our escape routes, but what about those times when you just gotta surrender to the chaos? You know, when nothing is working.
Our source had a really healthy perspective on that.
Mm-hmm.
They said to embrace the unexpected and remember that the trip is about creating memories, not perfection.
Yes, I love that. It's not about checking off every single ride or getting that perfect photo. It's about being present and enjoying the experience together, messy as it may be.
Exactly. And sometimes those unplanned, chaotic moments become the funniest stories later on.
Oh, absolutely. I've got a few of those myself. Like the time my little one had a diaper blowout right in front of the castle. We still laugh about it today.
See? Memories in the making. And speaking of memories, our source made a point at saying that this first trip, even with the potential hiccups, is laying the groundwork for amazing future Disney experiences.
I hadn't thought of it that way. So even if my baby doesn't remember this trip consciously, they're still absorbing the sights, the sounds, the atmosphere.
It's like planting a seed of magic that will grow with each future visit. And those future trips will build upon those first memories.
Wow, I'm getting emotional over here.
Yeah.
This deep dive has completely changed my perspective. It's not about limitations, it's about possibilities.
Beautifully said. And speaking of possibilities, what about those all-important first visit souvenirs? Got to capture those memories.
Oh yeah, the souvenirs. The tiny Mickey ears, the first visit pin.
Exactly. Think about it. Years from now, you'll look back at those little trinkets, and all those warm, fuzzy memories will come flooding back.
Instant nostalgia. And you know what? Even if those Mickey ears spend more time on the ground than on your baby's head.
Hey, it happens. It's all part of the fun, and you'll have the pictures to prove it.
Speaking of pictures, I have a feeling those Disneyland photos will be extra special now, knowing all the tips and tricks we've learned today.
You got it. You're practically a Disneyland pro now, ready to conquer those crowds and create those magical moments, even with the baby by your side.
I love it. So let's recap. Disneyland with a baby, totally doable and potentially magical, with the right mindset and a little preparation.
We busted the myth that babies can't enjoy the rides, we uncovered those hidden gems like the baby care center, and we even strategized our way around those fireworks without a bedtime meltdown.
Most importantly, we learned to see those potential challenges as opportunities to make memories, because really, that's what it's all about, right?
Absolutely, those shared experiences that become part of your family's story.
This has been such an eye-opening deep dive. We've covered the practical tips, the mindset shifts, even the power of those tiny souvenirs.
So, as we wrap up, we hope you're feeling inspired, informed, and maybe even a little bit more magical.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep discovering, and keep diving deep into those wonders of the world, no matter your age or stage in life.
Yeah, those souvenirs. It's like, even if they don't remember the trip, we will. Oh, absolutely. And, you know, that classic first visit pin, maybe some tiny Mickey ears.
Oh, adorable.
It's all about those little milestones. You know, something to look back on and remember.
I can practically hear the collective awe from all our listeners right now. But even if, let's be real, those Mickey ears end up spending more time on the ground than...
Oh, yeah. Happens all the time.
than on their little head.
It's all part of the adventure, right?
Exactly. And you'll have the pictures to prove it. Speaking of pictures, I bet those Disneyland photos are going to be extra special now, after learning all these tips and tricks.
Oh, for sure. You're practically a Disneyland expert at this point, ready to tackle those crowds with your little one.
I love it. So, to wrap up our Disneyland with a baby deep dive, it sounds like it's not only doable, but it can actually be magical.
Absolutely. With a little planning and a flexible mindset, for sure.
We busted that myth that babies can't enjoy the rides. We found those hidden gems, like that baby care center.
Oh.
And we even figured out how to do fireworks without, causing a complete bedtime meltdown.
Strategic planning is key.
It is. But even more important, I think, is that we learn to reframe those challenges, like see them as opportunities to make memories instead.
Because that's what it's really all about, creating those memories.
Exactly. And those shared experiences, that's what it's all about.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So we've covered those practical tips, the mindset shifts, even the power of those little souvenirs.
It's the little things.
It is. So as we wrap things up, we hope you're feeling inspired, informed,
And maybe even a little bit more magical.
Until next time, folks, keep exploring, keep discovering, and keep diving deep into the wonders of the world, no matter how old you are or how old your little ones are.